Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I'm talking about tabletop role-playing games and how we use symbolism within those games. So, I've been watching some older movies recently, and one of the movies I watched was Tombstone 1993. So, the 1993 version of Tombstone is a classic film. It's about Wyatt Earp, his brothers, and their time in Tombstone, and it specifically showcases the gunfight at the OK Corral. So this is a movie about a historical moment in time. It has, literally legendary characters within it. Doc Holliday, Virgil Earp, Morgan Earp, Wyatt Earp. And essentially what it shows is what happened with the gunfight at the OK Corral, and then how the Earps went on a vendetta ride. And they just kind of rode down all these, the cowboys, which was this band of villains within the film and historically. And the cowboys were a bandit camp, okay? They were a group of bandits who would just ride into town, shoot people, kill them, take everything they had. This was their modus operandi, right? And so basically, once the vendetta ride, and like when I say the Earp vendetta ride, that's not me applying a tag. That's literally the historical term for it, right? Where essentially the Earps and all these men that they had assigned as marshals and deputies rode down these cowboys. Okay, now these bandits, these cowboys, they used a symbol to convey to themselves and to everyone around them who and what they were. And the symbol was this red sash. So they would wear it around their waist, or they would wear it, around their torso. They might even wear it as a headband, but they always had the red sash, okay? And it was a symbol, it was a visual symbol, a visual cue, a prompt to say, this is who I am, and this is what I'm about. And what that symbol conveyed was, hey, I'm a deadly person. I will kill you for the things I want, and stay out of my way, right? So, just one red piece of cloth conveyed all this message, right? So what happens in the film, and it just made me stop and really think about the way we're running our tabletop role-playing games, is there's a scene where the Earps, so Doc Holliday is riding with Wyatt Earp, and they are chasing down the last of the cowboys on their horses. And this guy's name is Clanton. And Clanton has been shown throughout the film to be a complete bushwhacker. He will pretend to be your friend and then shoot you, or he's sneaky, and he does a lot of stuff when he's drunk, and just completely unreliable person, and just a sneak and a cutthroat, right? Just a brigand of every level. And that's been shown throughout the film. Wyatt Earp knows it, Doc Holliday knows it, right? So they are chasing down Clanton, the last of the cowboys. And what he does is he unties, he's on his horse, he takes off his red sash and he holds it up, and he waves and he goes, look, this is what I'm doing. And he lets it go, and that red sash just flies out from behind his horse, and it hits the ground. And Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday are at full gallop, and Doc Holliday goes over and puts out his hand, and Wyatt Earp puts out his hand, and at speed on these galloping horses, Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday shake hands that they have defeated the cowboys. Clanton rides off, and they let him get away. And I was like, what? That's insane, right? Like, that's crazy, right? This is a blood feud. This is a blood feud that ends with a handshake, and a guy just drops a piece of cloth on the ground, and that's it? That's enough for you to renounce your affiliation with the cowboys? That, dropping a red piece of cloth on the ground is enough, to redeem you from your evil deeds? That's crazy, right? Well, the reality is it's not crazy. I think the reason it was shown in the film the way it was we as human beings generally respect symbols, especially if we are aspiring to be heroes, aspiring to be good people, aspiring to do what is morally right. Okay. Now, I think there's a really good chance that that Clanton, I think he was genuine. I don't think he would ever pick up that red sash again. It'd be hard to get that going. There had been a lot of people that had ridden down the Cowboys. Now, he might have picked up a blue sash, and just started a gang called the Blue Banditos or whatever. But the reality is that, when he dropped that red sash, the Cowboys, that bandit group, was officially dead. And it wasn't about Clanton never rising up as a red sash cowboy again. It was about Doc Holliday and Wyatt Earp saying, we are aspiring to be heroes. We are aspiring to do what's morally right, to turn back wanton violence for the sake of violence. They were definitely violent men, but they were like, we're going to have law and order in this world, right? And so they were trying to do the right thing. And I think as humans, if we accept symbols, it allows us to do things quickly. And when we're able to do things quickly, we're able to fail fast, and then we're able to fix that failure, and we're able to move on to bigger and better things. So symbolism is very powerful. So what we should do to keep this in our tabletop role-playing games is make sure to have factions and fronts, right? So, I'm running a Fate-accelerated Star Wars Rogue Squadron game tonight, right? Well, every single one of my NPCs that's been prepared has a symbol on it. It has the Mandalorian symbol for scum and villainy. That's what it stands for now. And it has the Empire symbol saying this person is an Imperial officer, or they're connected with the Empire. Or it has a rebel symbol, and it's saying, oh, these guys stand against the Empire, right? So each one of those symbols has freight, okay? Well, in our Dungeons & Dragons game, that's one of the reasons why they brought those factions out, why the Harpers are there, and why all these other groups are there, so that we can attach a symbol to a person, and then that person has meaning right away. We know what their values are. We don't know the complete boundaries of their person, but we have a foundation that we can build on. And we can do that with one simple visual cue that is shown from a distance, shown quickly, right? And so I'm saying that we should definitely be trying to use symbolism in our tabletop role-playing games. And then also, if we can get our player characters there to the point where they would make the same choices, Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, we can have different endings to our stories. Different endings in that, it doesn't always end with a man being gunned down and killed, or a man being cut down with a sword. Maybe it ends with someone, dropping their banner off of a cliff. That's a different ending, right? And so if you watch Tombstone 1993, man, that thing is ripe for brilliant ideas that can be brought directly over to Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition tabletop role-playing game. And one of the things I would say, get on it this week. Get in some good, solid symbolism in your game, and start to give your players visual cues. It was really, really interesting. And I think the other thing I learned from this whole, just looking at this from a tabletop role-playing game's perspective, is symbols mean a lot to us as human beings. And also, if you know people where symbols don't mean anything to them, really think twice about dealing with that person, I think. Symbols should mean something to us. And as organized intellectuals, symbols, it's important symbols mean something. And we should show that in our tabletop role-playing games. Take care.